Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We return to Democracy Now!'s Amy Littlefield outside the Supreme Court on Wednesday, as the court heard arguments in the most significant abortion case in a generation, a challenge to provisions in Texas's sweeping anti-choice law, HB 2. Both sides of the abortion debate rallied outside.
So we're here on the border between the pro-choice and the anti-choice sides, right outside the Supreme Court. On one side are the pro-choice activists, and on the other side are the anti-choice activists. They have two competing rallies here. Let's talk to some of the people on the anti-choice side.
I'm Kristen Hawkins. I'm the president of Students for Life in America.
And why are you here today?
I'm here today because we want to show the justices that this is a pro-life generation. Majority of Americans agree with our side, and that the majority of Americans agree with the common sense safety regulations in HB 2.
I saw some research recently, though, that 7 in 10 women, or 7 in 10 people are on the pro-choice side. What makes you say that you have more people on your side?
When you look at the polling and you actually ask people on the issues, we have the majority. You don't use labels, pro-life, pro-choice. Most millennials are like, I don't want to be labeled. I don't even understand what the labels mean. When you ask people, when do you think abortion should be legal? Under what circumstances should abortion be legal? We're winning all day long.
I'm Troy Newman. I'm the president of Operation Rescue.
And what are you doing here today at the Supreme Court?
Well, we're praying, number one, that the court is going to uphold the Texas law HB 2, and number two, we're testifying to the fact that women die inside abortion clinics. This is common sense regulation. I want to see abortion ended today, but this is common sense regulation that's going to make sure that women are given the best and most proper health care.
Will these laws in Texas help to achieve your goal of ending abortion?
Well, yes, because abortionists simply cannot or will not rise to the level of being a normal physician. You don't come out of medical school, by and large, and say, I want to become an abortionist. You sink to the level of being an abortionist. It's so common sense to see these people so completely angry is they're off their rocker.
Although it sounds like you might agree with one thing on the pro-choice side, which is that these laws are ultimately threatening to and perhaps aimed at ending abortion, right?
I will do anything safe, legal, and moral to end the child killing. And you know what that does? It saves women's lives and it saves babies' lives. These ghouls over here are chanting to kill more babies. I find that repugnant and disgusting.
Troy Newman, you've been criticized in the past for some of your tactics. Some people have even gone so far as to call you a domestic terrorist and to say that you've called for the murder of abortion providers. Is that true?
It's ridiculous. If any of that were true, I wouldn't be able to stand here.
One more question. 1 in 3 women will have an abortion by age 45. What happens to those women if abortion becomes inaccessible in the United States?
Imagine this. They have a beautiful baby.
No more Roe! No more Roe!
I'm Navya Ravi Kumar. I'm from Austin, Texas. Okay, that's weird.
What's happening right now? Can I just describe it? We're right here on the border between the pro-choice and anti-choice side, and there is a sign that's someone's putting behind you.
Yeah, I mean, this in itself is problematic because that's not a fetus. That's a literal baby, and it's like 3 months old. So that doesn't even make any sense.
You're talking about the picture on the sign. Do you have a response to that? She says that what's on your sign is not a fetus, it's a baby.
We don't discriminate of people based on their looks or their age or their location. We love the babies. Every child has to be cared for and fed no matter where they're located. That's why we love.
That wasn't the argument, but okay. The argument was that they are talking about aborting fetuses. Fetuses are not babies. Babies are born. That's the definition of a baby. We learned that in 8th grade science, so that's good.
Do you have a response to that?
This is a female. We love females. We protect females, whether they're in the womb or not. We don't believe that promiscuous sex gives you a right to kill. You can have as much promiscuous sex as you want, but we don't kill.
Okay. Thanks for giving me the right to have sex. I didn't know that you controlled my body. So, thanks for that.
Are you ready for the next speaker? Dr. Valerie P. myself pregnant in July of 2015. And while it was an unplanned pregnancy, it was a very wanted pregnancy. I wanted to have my baby. So you know what I did? I do what women are supposed to do. We go get prenatal care, and I start getting prenatal care for my baby. But soon after I started getting the prenatal care, the doctors thought that something was wrong with the fetus. So at 16 weeks, my son received the diagnosis of alobar holoprosencephaly, which means that his brain did not fully develop. My son had half a brain. My doctor told me I had two choices. I could continue to carry the pregnancy, or I could terminate the pregnancy because it was 100% incompatible with life. I live in Austin, and I said, you know what, Doc, hey, can we take care of this right now? And the doctor said, no, unfortunately, because of the Texas laws, you have to go to Planned Parenthood or another provider. And boy, was I emotionally distraught. Was I mentally distraught. I broke down crying. I didn't know what to do. And I also found out that it was a multiple-day process that I would have to go through. Knowing that my baby was 100% not viable, eventually, you know what I did? I flew to Florida. I flew to Orlando the next day. I couldn't take the emotional pain. I couldn't wait another day. And had I not had the resources, I don't know if I would be here talking to you today.
Next up at the podium is Dr. Willie Parker, who provides abortions in the South, and it looks like he's wearing a purple hat with an emblem of a golden uterus on it.
I flew in last evening from Jackson, Mississippi,
Feel free to shout.
where I saw women at the Pink House, the last clinic in Mississippi. Yesterday I saw a woman from Louisiana who, now that state will only have one clinic because of recent changes in the law, but she came to Jackson because that was the closest clinic to her. I told her that I would be here today, and she told me that she works as a health administrator in an ER, and that they were seeing women there with complications from do-it-yourself medications on the internet. And when I told her that I was going to be here, she said, you make sure that you tell them up there what's happening down here. So I'm keeping my word to her. America, we have a problem. But don't worry, there's a doctor in the house. Because today I'm going to diagnose that problem for you, and I'm going to make some treatment recommendations. I've spent the last 25 years of my career figuring out the problems of women's health. So when I put my medical hat on, this is not my medical hat, and I look at women's health in this country, it seems to me that we have an epidemic of invasive political conservatitis. Now, what is that, you might ask? Political conservatitis is where the bodies of reproductive age women in this country are being invaded by a species of conservative politics, where politicians are in places making rules about things that they don't know anything about.
So here at these two dueling rallies at the Supreme Court, while Dr. Willie Parker was speaking at the pro-choice rally just several yards away right here in front of the Supreme Court, House Speaker Paul Ryan suddenly emerged from the court building and addressed the rally here.
It is great to see you. We are the pro-life movement, and we are here, and we are the pro-life movement that is here to stand up for women, we are here to stand up for the unborn, and we are here to stand up for the rule of law. We are here to defend Texas.
And now our final speaker at this rally to close us out today. When you start a lawsuit, it takes a brave person to step forward. I am so proud to now introduce Amy Hagstrom Miller, who's the CEO of Whole Woman's Health.
So just look at all of you. Many of you took off work. You got on buses from all across the country. You arranged childcare, and some of us have even brought our kids along. And you've come here in the cold to stand united for abortion access. Thank you for making the journey. But here's the sad part. However far you traveled, however tough it was, for most of you, coming here today was nothing compared to what a woman in Texas goes through to get an abortion. I dream of a world where no one comes into my clinics thinking that they are the only person they know who has had an abortion. Thinking that they are the only Christian that has had an abortion. Thinking that they are the only good mother who has had an abortion. We stand in opposition to HB2 and any law like it that shuts down clinics, forces women to delay care, and creates obstacles to abortion. But we also stand for something. We stand here to affirm that women are good. We stand to affirm that women are moral and kind. To affirm that when a woman has decided to end a pregnancy, we can witness her dreams and her aspirations and affirm that she is put on this earth to see them out and act on her own gifts. That is the world we stand for, and that is the world we will create together.
Amy Hagstrom-Miller, President and CEO of Whole Women's Health, the lead plaintiff in the most significant abortion case in a generation, speaking outside the Supreme Court Wednesday as the court heard arguments in the case. Special thanks to Democracy Now!'s Amy Littlefield, Elizabeth Press, Hani Massoud, Rabi Karen, and Chris Belcher. This is